All right, so squeeze theorem is gonna be kind of important. So recognize the, you have to recognize certain things. So I'm gonna show you. Give me 1 second. Hold up. If you yesterday's homework is not hard, right? It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You wish every day's homework is like this. Okay, so we're gonna talk about squeeze theorem. Squeeze theorem is if it's an the sequence, guys, if the an sequence is bn is between, so if the bn is between an and cn, and limits n approach infinity of an is equal to limit n approach infinity of cn is equal to L. So that means the L is a constant, right? Then limit at n approach infinity of Bn is also equal to L. Okay, so today we would like to talk about this one is really interesting one.
And I can't read it.
Whoa. GA be legally blind.
What?
They see it? Yeah. I feel like every day you're hurting me over here.
What do you mean? It's like one of the most been like
I think that's a GN.
Oh, don't.
Okay, so if you cannot read it, let me explain to you. So if the Bn is right between An and Cn, is that okay? If the An and the Cn, they both reach L, then the limits n approaching infinity of Bn is equal to L as well. Let's assume because the top part is equal to m, the bottom part is equal to L, so they both, the middle part has to go to L. It doesn't matter what. Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's think about this. Ideally, I want you guys to think it through. What is this converge or diverge?
Wait, no.
It's n factorial, so this is what you gotta think about. Which one's going to infinity faster? It's n factorial or n to the n?
No n factorial.
Dang it. That's what I did.
Doesn't the factorial really mean higher faster? That's gonna reach it.
But if you're thinking about it, it's n factorial and 10 is minus 1 times the factorial.
I mean, but if you like math,
You're multiplying. Eventually you're gonna get
So you guys discussed about it. What do you guys think? Why do you think it's n to n?
I'm excited to find out. Oh, my sister texted me. She says, OMG, my interviewer was Asian back. I'm glad that you're
Yeah.
If it was a Asian girl, period.
It's gonna be.
Not even period.
No, negative infinity. Where my decision.
Okay, you guys okay or no? Which one do you think? N factorial or n? N of n factorial n to n. Why?
Because you're multiplying it by the same number, like that same amount of times, other than like the same amount of numbers, but then like less quantity. Like 50, take 50, right? You're taking 50, and you're multiplying it 50 times by 50. But if you do 50 for n factorial, you're multiplying the same amount of times by numbers that are less than 50.
Does that make sense or no? He just steal somebody's idea. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write down first few terms. So later you're gonna say it's like n factorial is greater than n, n to the n is greater than n factorial. This is later on we're gonna create couple orders so that way you know which one's gonna go faster, which one's going to go slower. But here's the actual proof of it. So let's just say a of 1, that's 1 factorial over 1 to the 1. You cannot tell from here, that's 1. A to the 2 is equal to 2 times 1 over 2 times 2. Is that okay? Now, put in mind that you can say, hey, this is less. Is this less than 2 over 2 times 2? It's right now it's less equal to, right? So it can be equal to. Does that make sense? So in this case, it could be equal to. Go to the third case, then it's going to be 3 times 2 times 1. That's the factorial. And then look at 3 times 3 times 3. So this one is going to be less than. This is 3 times 3 times 3. Now what happened is this one's going to be 3 times 3. We're going to make this the maximum I can. This is going to be 3 times 3. So this is what we have, right? But this is, would you say, no. This is what we have, right? This is n factorial over n, right? So we're gonna say, hey, assume that this can be a 3 here. Now, longest, the idea is you have to know something later on is called comparison test. Is you compare one thing. If we can prove this is bigger than this, ideally, is this bigger than this? The one on the right is bigger than the one on the left, right? This is bigger than this, right? Okay, so if I can somehow prove that this will eventually converge, then if something less than converge, would it be also converge? Does that make sense? I give an analogy in the past, so
These are not multiplications.
No, it's not. That's
Well, like,
multiplication.
think about it. There's
yeah.
3 threes adding up here, and there's 3 threes adding up here.
Well, then why didn't you write it?
Let me talk. Yes, Peter. Lucia. Okay, so what happened is I'm trying to create a something, guys. Let me pay attention. Pay attention to me. I'm trying to create this. It's for sure bigger than that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do 3 times 3 here, which is we're gonna do one more term to let you see it. Okay, we're gonna do a to the 4. A to the 4 is a 4 times 2, 3 times 2 times 1, and this is gonna be 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Is that okay? It's a for sure less than 4 times 4 times 4 over 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. They are for sure because 4 times 4 is definitely bigger than 3 times 2, right? But we just try to create this to show you that this one we can evaluate. The other one, there was no way for you to evaluate because we cannot try to come up with a proof. But if we can prove this is definitely bigger than this is definitely bigger than this, then all I gotta do is pay attention to the sequence. If this sequence converge, and the a to the n is less than b to the n, therefore a to the n also have to converge. Okay, let me give you an analogy.
Like you're just thinking harder for me. Like, I understood the first time.
Okay,
Second time made it harder.
okay, so it's really hard for you to understand this. Is we try to create a sequence that we can possibly to evaluate a sequence, because it's really hard to come up a proof that this sequence is converged. Guys, let me talk. It's really hard to prove that this sequence converge. Now, if I can come up a sequence is slightly bigger than original sequence, if this is slightly bigger and this is converged, right? If, let's just say, is separate is stupid, and I am less than separate, then I'm a stupider. Because stupid is converge. I'm definitely converge. I don't know if that makes sense.
I do not make no sense with that.
Okay. So just let me come up with. So this one, we know that if you have a to the 5, it's gonna be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And this is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And it's definitely less than 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 over 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So in a way that this one, I can rewrite as internal expression is going to be n to the m minus 1. Does that make sense? Over n. So this is the thing we made up that is slightly bigger than n factorial over n to the n power. Slightly bigger. Now you guys got to understand, in a lot of time you are doing some type of comparison, because later on we're going to talk about a direct comparison test, limit comparison test. It's always compare two limits. You know, you can a little bit bigger than that. Yes. Give me a second. Fabian first. N to the n, yeah. Okay. So if you have n to the n, now can I simplify this? Can I simplify this to a simplified fractions? How do I simplify this? It's 1 over n, right? What happened limit approach infinity of 1 over n? 0. Now this is less than this one. So if this go into 0, this has to go to 0 as well, because that's less than that. Because that is a converge. This is Sefer. Sefer is stupid. And this is Mr. Ye. He's less than Sefer. Then Mr. Ye has to be stupider. Stupider is converge.
I don't need the name separate
I'm not. That's not me. So I'm chilling. That's the fear. That's not me.
I call it. Does that make sense?
Yes, wait. So, but use that back to the
Okay, so
back to the OG.
yes. Yes, because Okay, so guys, let me say this is I just want you to learn to get used to understand the comparison. If we don't know what this is, we don't know what Mr. Ye is, but we know Mr. Ye is less than Sepper. But if Sepper is stupid, then Mr. Ye has to be stupider. So if this things that we don't know, like this thing is for us, it's really hard to evaluate. But we know that if you compare to this, so this is less equal to n to the n minus 1 over n. If it's less, can I just say this cancel out? So n factorial is less than n to the n minus 1, which is 1 over n. But if 1 over n is going to be, 1 over n is going to be the, sorry, this one's not right. So this one is going to be, it's going to be less than that. So if it's less than that, if limits as x approach to infinity of 1 over n, this is going to go to 0. If this is going to 0, then this has to be, so let's not worry about this part. If this is going to go to 0, this sequence has to be less than this, because this is proving to be 1 over n, right? So this is less than 1 over n, but 1 over n is converged, then the n factorial over n to the n power has to also converge. And that's what squeeze theorem is. And also take in mind is this is always positive, right? Because we have this thing is always positive. So I'm going to just say this, 0, because it's always positive, is n factorial over n to the n is less than n to the n, n minus 1 over n to the n. Is that okay? So we already established this end up to be converged into 0. This has to be 0 as well because squeeze theorem.
Exactly.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, back when we were actually plugging the numbers in, and let's say you have like 4 times 3 times 2 times 4 over 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Why do you put greater than or equal to?
Because, oh, that's a good question. Because at the second term, they are actually equal to. So you cannot just say less than, because that's not true statement all the time. You can say less equal to, that'll be a true statement all the time. And same thing as the first one is that's gonna be like this. Yes.
So like, are they always gonna have like the same denominator? And then you just like change the numerator up?
She's already fucking.
This is something. These are, and everybody pay attention. So is that something always like this? No, that's something that I made up. And this made up, I know for sure is converged. But the n factorial over n to the n power is less the sequence I made up. And then so if this made up equation is converged, this has to be converged because due to squeeze theorem, because we know this one is converged. And we know this one is less than this one, less equal to. So if this at the most is equal to 0, this has to be equal to 0 as well, because it's sandwiched into a certain situations. Okay? I mean, it's very, very, it don't over complex things, but it just lets you to compare with somebody. Like if you, let's say,
Yeah. Why is the 0 all the way at the end? Is it because that one's like always positive?
it's always positive.
That's the most positive.
N factorial over n to the n power is always positive.
This one for diverging too.
So positive has to be 0.
Like if the value your other function that you created is greater, but it's also diverging, does that mean the lesser function also has to be diverging?
Oh, he's asking a great
That's not
question.
my question. That's Peter's question.
No. He's asking a great question.
Peter's.
So if this equation that you made up is diverge, right? Is diverge. Then is that if this is diverge, is this a to the n diverge or converge? is indecisive because it could be converge, it could be diverges too. What if I'm just a little bit less than diverge? So that comes down to later on when you talk about P series, we know that there is a borderline where the series actually, if anything a little bit over, it's going to be diverge for sure. Anything less is converge. But there is a line that we have to see. But later on, we're going to note as harmonic series. Harmonic series is going to be something that's coming back in play. But here is just understand that the squeeze theorem, how squeeze theorem work. Now, also on top of this, I'm going to talk about this. Okay, and let's see if it makes sense. This is called absolute value theorem. Absolute value theorem says, hey, for the sequence, limits n approach infinity of absolute value a to the n is equal to 0. If you do absolute value it. Why do we do absolute value it? Jesus asked me earlier if it's -1 to the n over n, right? So if it's -1 over n, so -1, so for example, if you have a sequence look like this, -1 to the n over n, like this. What happens if I do absolute value this? -1 to the n becomes +1. Because it's always positive, there's just no alternating anymore. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I can absolute value of this a to the n. This one is going to be just 1 over n. Because top result is always 1. The bottom is always n. So it's 1 over n. But again, let's limit n approach of 1 over n. Now, remember, this is a sequence, not series. Series, it will be actually diverged, by the way. But this is a sequence. Sequence is going to go to infinity. This is going to 0. So this is converge. For the sequence, this is going to converge. So we can absolute value something. If you see some negative sign you don't like, absolute value it. Because if you absolute value it, if that is converge, then the normal series actually converge. We don't work. Diverge is going to be diverge regardless.
Even if you absolutely.
Yeah. Well, imagine if you have, says, n squared over n, right? It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It's still going to go positive infinity or negative infinity. Yes, Eli? Is that okay? So that's absolute value. Okay. How much time I have? 3 or 4 minutes? Okay, I'll let you figure out some sequence here. And you're going to tell me, are they converge or diverge? You're going to say, I cannot read this. Okay, I want you to figure out a sequence. Yes.
Can we only apply absolute value theorem to sequences only, or can we do series too?
Later. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so series later we're gonna have to deal with. Series is kind of tricky because there is situation. So sometimes it will be conditional converge, sometimes it will be a absolute converge. And yes, we still have to deal with absolute value, but we had to think about each individual case separately. So I don't want to confuse you later, but later on, that's the confusing part, is the absolute converge and conditional converge. And the AP exam is very big on that, by the way.
Wait, The absolute value theorem, like, is it just like
Okay, now
if you ever see a negative, you get just absolute value and that's
You
it?
see alternating. Do you see this? Do you see this? This alternating?
-1 c. And then
Okay, so this one's kind of hard to figure out. See if you guys can figure out a sequence first. And then you're gonna see, are they gonna go to
Guys, I'm gonna use that. Why?
bottom is good. Good job, Sharon. When did you get a girlfriend, Sharon? When does the girlfriend started?
Yes. That's not appropriate.
Oh, I got it.
Sharon's there again.
My teacher.
Fall asleep doing your homework on Friday. Girl. Oh, me too. Wait, now I'm gonna draw me on Sunday.
Trump said it's not gonna be a good decision.
Yeah, I don't care what the hell he thinks. I'm gonna be.
Can you guys figure out a sequence first?
Yeah.
No, sure, yeah. Mom had a good backdoor.
You do ever
Yeah. I'm wondering what that was gonna be.
Good job, Lena. So it's gonna be 3 to the n minus 1 on the top times -1. Well,
Look, I got the same shit, Mr. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna show up for your next week.
okay, so it's gonna be -1 to the n over n factorial, and this is the a to the n.
All I didn't do was not have the -1.
Okay, so this is a perfect place to apply absolute value of this.
Okay.
If you apply, so it'd be limits as n approach infinity of absolute value a to the n. This is equal to limits as n approach infinity 3 to the n minus 1 over n factorial. So here's a question. N factorial is faster than 3 to the n, or 3 to the n is faster? -1 is insignificant, by the way. You just subtract by 1.
And then at best, he's like 8 out of 10.
So if you look at here, right? If you look at here, it seems like the bottom is slower. But if you go few more terms, you will figure out if there's something I want you to write it down here. Remember this thing here? N factorial is the biggest. Less than the n factorial, or n to the n power, it's going to be less than a to the n.
And if the base number is that much for you, then it's definitely gonna be.
The a is going to be constant. So therefore, this should go to 0. If it goes to 0, there's a converge.
I thought you were gonna go. This Friday.
No, next Friday if you're me, it's gonna be. I'm
Eli.
Ah,
Eli.
So
I thought you were gonna go.
I really have to eat because I'm not gonna be able to eat.
Okay, both of them are.
Since you guys
Wait, Eli, to see you guys staying, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have something to eat?
Hey, Eli is mine, bro. I'm Eli for it. Eli is mine. Eli is my dad. Eli is my
Fabian and Shaden. I didn't tell you guys, but if you guys are compete, you guys gonna work on team chemistry. So that means not today, but tomorrow you're gonna stay alone. Bring a lunch here and work with other people.
Austin boy.
About a sexy guy called wow, and mystery. Yeah, thinking about
I feel uncomfortable. Same time as my second year. That would not be a good spot for us. Mystery at the same time. Hey, see, I own this thing, bro. I live here, team period. Don't you want to
Wait, you
that?
want to raise it? No, you Yeah, what are you doing outside?
All four at the same time is great. I've
Well,
never heard
someone's
of
gonna give me a Valentine's Day gift that I can't even.
I'll get you a Valentine's Day.
A Valentine's Day milkshake.
All right, so program over data.
Why are you erasing your thoughts? That was tough, Eli.
It's like you look at the you gotta take
I haven't decided what's team 2 yet. Huh? No, Rock Run is gym right across street.
I know. He's like a rock climber and he goes to that.
Oh, that's a perfect school to go to.
No, he doesn't go to
Yeah, go like- Oh. Yeah, I know she don't. But wait. Arman's here though.
The tweets make let's say I'm gonna start showing up more, bro.
What?
Greatest potential twins sitting next to each other, bro. This is my motivation, bro. If Greenwald had that class, I would show him every day. Even if he shit talks to me.
Wait, did you get any?
All right, so here's the team questions.
You have to do that for a while. They're creative.
How do I download this? Okay, click download, dumbass.
Okay, guys, what do you like doing?
Big nasty lie.
Thank you so much, Dan.
I got you.
What?
Eli and Armand are growing flowers.
No, they're growing flowers for me. Aru. Legacy. I've never heard any of those names. Aru and Legacy. Obviously, someone's name's gonna be Maru, bro. Someone's name.
know what you said. You want me to airdrop it better? Oh, I was gonna print now. I didn't. All right, I'm gonna airdrop.
I just take a picture of it. And Eli and Armand.
They misspelled his name.
Okay, you gotta tell me the code though.
Very twink, bro. Hell no.
Lucia, can you help me post on the group chat?
Eli's good. Cute little. What's this? You're my cute little self.
You know, you guys are all saying you failed.
He'll be right back.
No,
It's not that we all actually did that.
Who?
You didn't flirt FR2.
Are you got 100? Who's the 100?
Yeah, I can get outside.
Not every test.
You can sit here. You'll be in the closet.
I already am.
You're in the closet.
It's a twink, bro.
How do I know?
Very soft.
Seriously?
Yeah. I say, why is that to everybody about me, bro? That's messed up.
What?
Why is that not to everybody about me, bro?
Because you are stupider.
If yay is left.
This first question, no calculator. Put your phone away. Can you put your phone here? You can
Where's
do
the
it there.
calculator? I don't have a calculator.
You can bring a computer, but you have to face to me so I can see it.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Move that air.
What?
Press down for a second.
Okay, well. Oh wait, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll just do that.
I have not opened. I sort of jump around
I like this impression.
go back to eye contact. Just stared at me, just like, nah, I'm okay.
Oh.
Does anyone have to see one?
Right now.
It's winter time right now. Wait, I feel like something similar. Was it snowboarding? Yo, what do you mean? This is like the most like. You just hate. What's your wallpaper?
I'm on that team, bro. I'm being one team. See, this whole team at Team Zero said that I already finished this today, bro.
Then tomorrow we're gonna do.
No way. Yeah, if you do test correction, you get plus. Everyone did so bad for that test. Remember, you didn't more.
Yeah. I thought it was like.
Yeah, that's one per minute. Or maybe an 8.
I didn't check.
Only this one. Two years in a row.
Trying to see fucking problems with what they do.
No one learned anything. It would genuinely be better if you came out on private and she was like, while we watch it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No.
Like, maybe.
If I get like an 11, that's
Well,
We didn't even get it last year.
Oh, I heard, man. Ooh.
Even if you h of t minus h of 0, but I can't find h of t over.
I look, you found like the most cracked website. I got 3. Oh wait, are you doing math right now? Are you doing something right now?
Nah, I'm just saying.
I just found like the most cracked website for.
Wait, what is it? I had to wear an erase this, bro. Wait, why is it not 3? Bro.
Oh, floor frontages. Right.
And then
It's in a picture, and I've looked at the picture, and I said, what's it?
I know it is, but like, what? Why would you ever use that? Like, what can that ever be?
Eli? So.
I don't mind. I already had submitted them. You're the
Like a 60. Like a low.
It's about a different vibe.
not current.
I had a vibe actually.
Guys, it's okay.
I mean,
Let's do Mr. J.
Thank you.
No, you're not allowed to see.
if you are here, do you have a calculator like one of those THIs? But I didn't know
They don't correlate.
What? What did you do? Wow.
No,
Can you see people in sleep? What even is this?
Only AI has some stuff that heard him.
what is the love? Who?
wait, no, actually, I should. Well, I just played it. Like, wait, here. You should.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, look.
It's ceramic
I
material.
only want to show you something.
No.
What do we have in people talk?
You need to know that was class.
Oh no, this is like
It could help if you're in the mile.
yeah, I think
I could run a mile without my knee.
actually
Can I run with the one up?
I'm pretty
So yeah.
Oh, shit, live at station. This is
It's also a floor function.
It's like can be a little bit bigger one. It can be like
Chill.
one rapid. Like I guess they never wait. Well, I mean, like it'll stop hurting.
Wait,
Yeah.
But that means if you spin it, because there's no other resistance.
I was gonna say theoretically then.
Yeah, but like I did that, because if there's a resistance, it doesn't have
But then yeah, it's spin it.
Yeah, it's spinning.
It's awesome. That's so sick.
What'd you post? What did you post? What did you post? On group chat.
Everything I'm just gonna send them all together. That's this one, maybe.
What'd you do for 3D?
IB physics is literally just on.
I've seen the rest of that.
Actually,
That one
like maybe.
That's the gym. We may be contributing to the problem, but not the entire problem. Not the entire problem.
I found it funny.
I got 14 days.
Wait, I haven't watched it.
Sugar? Oh. Sugar. Oh.
I watched it.
Didn't you?
Yeah. I think
Why is every single, every other thing on your hands
Guys, would you rather just get alive by every person you ever lost while they're all singing and matching brackets, or be a Ellen DeGeneres?
Oh wait, it's probably just plug in 0 for next. I would one if you take it a few times. You can plug in 0.
What?
Looking at my list. Oh yeah, you fixed it. Oh, that feels so big.
My 500.
that one?
Oh, this is the exact same one.
Yeah. Good, just in general, like, my job, like, I feel like a lot of things.
I kind of got it, but I just got
What is the function of an x is series parallel?
I don't know what all
This is like,
I don't they put bro. Did you watch we did that one
One time.
when I was
yeah.
When it's 2000, but I actually heard.
bro, and then we played like it was like super
It's actually
fast, but it was it's really weird.
Like mine's a peak game.
No, it was not, bro. I'm freaking Cookie Monster.
Why did it It's only there when you go. It was like games I can't play. I've even watched Oh, but I haven't seen it. Okay, anything else? I take out everything. The Lord.
Guys, are you ready? Guys, are you ready? What do you
Tasha, gonna happen. Write down the question. Don't.
The first episode.
I'll do good mystery. What do you call a table that has 4 legs? You watched it. This is what we wrote.
Yeah.
This is what we wrote.
Slow down.
What do you call it too?
Next question. Next question. Come on.
I'll do it. I'll take a trip here.
That looks like a good sandwich.
Out of 10.
Okay, I'll do it.
Nelly was people that are like. No, no, they don't socialize like where you're hanging. Yeah, like they don't like. For example, they don't go to Walmart. They make their own stuff. Almonds, yeah, I used to make little ramen. That's one. I have no idea why. And I was like so shocked. I was like,
That's why it's not broken.
It's like telling Amish people a zombie.
Don't work on the same part. Work on a different part.
these have the answers.
I give you answers.
Wait, don't give me the answers. I want a question.
No.
I didn't send you the answer.
This what? What is that? Be on the last one.
Okay, then I'll do it.
I was so locked.
You're on the top.
He's a talking.
I'm on
I just need you fighting you in the reference. I'm not
Okay, then my bad. Look, I pulled up
What is this?
Saying that it,
Whatever.
what is
Okay.
that?
Okay.
The first
Oh, and how I pulled up. Yeah. You're trying to be the worst you possible. Look.
It's like when your
Look,
parents
look,
walk by and then
You're I pull up. I pull up.
like, okay, Daryl, I see what you're watching.
That's it.
I'm trying to find something new to watch.
Don't watch one of those if you're gonna start. Did you get?
already watched it.
Dude, when I was dad,
You didn't watch
the
it
guy
in front of me was reading
and it's like this anime about like first like high school girls that's talking about him. It's like really kawaii.
Oh, watch anything the channel.
Oh, that wouldn't tell you.
Did you guys watch? Oh my gosh, Snow White?
Is it number two? It's two. Is it not white like the movie?
No, like
Oh
the guy
Oh
would
my
like
god,
buy.
it was 5 inches over seeking, bro, and I was tripping. I was like, why is seeking?
Oh, I hate my hair. I'll see you later. TikTok audio.
Oh yeah.
No, I would rent here.
What?
It's a
Is
good
it
anime.
basically Snow White?
I mean, I watched it like and then chaos.
How many seasons?
And then your line in April, which is not.
That's a freaky show. What the
Your
heck?
line in April is not.
This is
freaky
not
at all.
like that
No,
intro is like
no.
freaky as
That's
hell.
like the, no, 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 no. There's none of that stuff. You're thinking of something else. Your line in April.
I like catch that.
I thought it was that one.
Look at that.
No,
I remember there's a guy playing a piano. I remember a guy playing the violin.
yeah, that's it. But it's not freaky at all.
I thought everyone was always telling me about it as freaky. That's why I never watched it.
I post a homework.
Is it lore or?
Dude, that's what made me like the vibe.
Okay.
But it's not really Roman. It's really.
How are you guys doing?
You know all of that.
Okay, this is not that bad. I thought I had to do it.
The final, the best.
That's
No,
not
it's more, now it's a lot easier.
Yes,
It's not-
yes, let's go. I love that.
It used to be really hard.
Best romance I've ever watched. I love it.
Now it give you credit for each individual part. Before you have to add up all the parts to get it correct.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really hard to get high points.
What do you mean no? Which one?
Breaking through next time, so you have to make you like breaking through.
I remember perimeter.
I eat it during your class, so I can do that.
You'll see a breaking through here. Breaking through here, so you're
I
not
did.
gonna.
You look at me. It's like A-O. And then they did one shot.
You're eating now, isn't it?
No, I'm not.
Is it just me, or like, or you actually get hungry faster? You get hungry faster. I feel like this couple days I eat a lot.
Yeah, I think we're used to it.
What?
So it just, it works. Its calories are good.
Huh?
Calories are good.
That's what I think it do. But I don't know.
And I got the HR there.
So we're doing. Oh my god.
I want to watch you. Wait.
Thank you for that.
I'm a CA. I'm a CA. I'm just on football today. Always think back to me. I'm playing with you.
I'm not full understand.
Students should now be back from A lunch. Please release your students for B1.
We still have. Oh no. Can't make.
We're gonna make a restaurant. Oh shit.
So the parabola you guys already learned. Have you learned parabola in your class? Yes, right? Yes. Miss Shai teach you parabola? Rebecca? Did she teach you about parabola? Okay. So the parabola you guys learn is the very, very introductory of parabola. So it's like, it's like no fun. Okay, the actual parabola is gonna be a little bit different. So parabola can be okay, the parabola is gonna be y equal to x squared, right? This is something that we already know. Y equal to x squared. But it's turned out it's more complex than that because the parabola is actually, oops, sorry. It's, let me get a textbook so that way I can see things better. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you. So Rebecca, you're gonna be there on Lyman, right? High school? Yeah. Okay. That's $8.20 to be there. You don't need to pay. The club paid a fee. So you guys don't need to pay because we make money on the last competition, so we're just gonna give it early for free to join. Okay. So Luke, are you going or no? This Saturday, 8:20 in the morning. Do you have federation? Because I know piano federation is like March February something. Okay.
Oh, where's it at?
Lyman High School. Alright. So hold on a second. Let me do it really quickly. Okay, so y equal to x squared. This is something that we know. But it turns out it's more complex than that because there's actually much more detail in terms of things. So I'll give you a new equation. The equation is gonna be let me try here. So it's gonna be, let me use this one better. Okay. Y squared equal to 4px, or x squared equal to 4py. Okay. So obviously you guys already know the x squared. You just don't know what's 4p mean. P is so p equal to the distance from, Devin, come here. Also come up and learn this because the next competition you're gonna have to help on the pre-calc. Okay. So x squared is a parabola facing up and down, right? And y squared is actually a parabola facing left and right. So it depends. So I always call this a vertical parabola, and this is horizontal parabola. Okay. So let me just type in that says, that's just for example, that says if I have x squared equal to 8y, something like this. What is p in this case? So 4p is equal to 8, p is equal to 2, right? Okay. So what I'm going to show you that's actually interesting, if I have type in the equation, what do we say? X squared is equal to 8y, right? Like this. So the 0, 2 is a focus. 0, 2 is a focus. Now, why is this focus important? So if you look at a, I need to pay attention because you're gonna need it later. Okay, so x squared equal to 8y. because 4p is equal to 8, p is equal to 2. So 2 units away from the vertex, that's your focus. Now, why is that important? Because if you look at a satellite dish, if you ever look at satellite dish, have you seen satellite dish before? Okay, so if you go in, there's always a curvature. So basically, a satellite dish could become like this, and maybe a single point right here. Now, why is that? That point is located at focus. Okay, because if you have satellite in the space, it sends out a signal. It's gonna hit this part, and it's gonna hit this part, and that's how you concentrate the signals. Does that make sense? So it's sent to here, concentrate here, send to here, concentrate here. So you can, the focus is to get all the information in a higher magnitude, a higher intensity. So that way your TV does not become blurry or whatever. So this is how you receive the signal. So this focus is very important. Nobody ever talk about focus. But just think about that. This is a kind of like a Pac-Man, like this, right? Pac-Man is eating the dot, right? And that's the focus, right? Now there is a ghost that's chasing the Pac-Man, right? So usually there was a ghost right here. It's like this. It's like trying to chase this, right? So it turns out there is a directress. So this is called a focus, and the 2 units behind the vertex. So the vertex is between focus and directress. So directress is going to be right here, but it's going to be a line. So this one's going to be line. So y equal to -2 is the directress. Okay, that one you might need to write down because you're going to have to help somebody. Okay. Now, what's also interesting is this. If you pay attention to a line here, so let's just say if I pick a line that says, pick a line straight from here to here. Do you see that? This distance is same as from here to here. It turns out any part of parabola, let's just say if I go all the way here, and from here to go down to vertical, to like horizontal, right here, this distance is congruent, and this distance congruent. Sorry, this one's gonna be. So even if we go in here and here, this distance is congruent. So that's how parabola is decided. Now also this is called focal width. So I'm going to talk about this. It's also it's called also, there's a name called lattice rectum. Lattice rectum is going to be going from here to here. So okay, it's going from here to here. And this is where the 4p part. Remember, p is equal to 8, right? Guess what? From -4 to 4 is 8. The horizontal part is going to be 4p. So also they call it focal. I forgot it's focal width or focal length. Let me just make sure. I don't want to confuse you. Ooh, they actually don't say it in this book, so it's actually okay. In pre-cal book, I think they call it focal width. But this is called a lattice rectum. I don't know. This is a weird name. Lattice rectum is the distance from here, and this is where the 4p come from, because I hear there's a p, I hear there's a p, and I hear it's gonna be p, 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 p. Here is 4p, and from vertex to the focus is 1p. From vertex to the directress is 1p. Okay. So let's just say today I want to graph this. I want to say graph like x minus 4 squared is equal to, I don't know, -16 y plus 2, like this. If today I want to grab this, where's my vertex? 4, -2. Good, because this is gonna give you 4, -2. Is that okay? So vertex, because this is transformation, right? Just like circles. Is that okay? So 4, -2. I'm gonna teach you how to graph it, right? So that way you can see it. Once you know how to graph it, you know how to get all the information. So 4, -2 is gonna be this point. Is this vertical or horizontal parabola? It's x squared, so it's what? Vertical. Okay, so it's facing up or facing down? Why?
Negative.
Yeah, p is negative. P is -2. So the focus is going to be 4 units down here. Because this is a p, right? This is a focus. Is that okay? Is that okay? So this is a p. Is that okay? Now, can you tell me what's directress? Oh, I forgot the name of directress. Hold on a second. Did I write down directress last time? This horizontal line? The directress? Okay, so where's directress? Do you have one more? Can you make one? Thank you. Do we have enough?
I mean, you can have two.
I just want one. I just want one.
Each one.
Yeah, you can have 2. I just needed something to it. Where's the directress? Y equal to 2, good. So y equal to 2 is right here. Is that okay? Why is y equal to 2? Because this is also p units, right? So now I'm gonna open up to 4p here. So this is 4 units. So this is gonna be 2, 3. This is gonna be this. So the parabola is gonna be open this way. Because this is 4p. From here to here is 4p. And from here to here is p. From here to this p. But it's a negative, so the directress 4 units above and 4 units below. And mom pack you a lot of snack. Is this okay? And that's it. That's how you graph the thing. That's how you figure out a vertex. And we can check on the Desmos, by the way. So can you guys tell me which one we're gonna begin? So Desmos. What was the equation? X minus 4 squared is equal to what? -16 times y plus 2. Do you see this? And let's graph in. Let's see if let's check if it's true. Do you see that from this point here, right? It's all the way to this point here. Because p is actually, where's p? P is 4 comma -6, I think. So that's p, right? And the y is equal to 2. No, x is equal to 2. No, y equal to 2. So now what happened is, if you pay attention here, from here to here is exactly p units, right? From here to here is a p, right? And from here to here is a p, right? And from here to here is 4p. So this is a p, this is a p, this is a p, and this is a p. Do you see that? Okay, I can pick any point from, let's say it's from the directress, which is from directress from here to here. It's gonna be a perpendicular line, and that takes around 2, 4. This is actually 4.5, right? This is distance 4.5, right? Is that okay? And from this point to here, it should be also be 4.5 as well. But how do we figure out that? This one is 4. And this one is 2.5. Let's use decimals. 4 square.
It's the square root of 4.2.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me sure. You say what?
Square root of 4.2.
This side, the bottom is 4, right? And from -6 to 4 is 2.5, right? Is that okay? Okay, so that should be a equal distance. Hold on, let me see if we can work it out, see if it's true. So 4.5 there, so what is decimal? So be 4 square plus 2.5 square, and then square root of 22.25. That's off just tiny bit. Why is it off? Let me see if this is on scale. This 4 square. Oh, it's 4.5. You're right. Is that what you're trying to say? 26.5. So 26.5. It's 26 point. But that's not correct. I don't know why. It should be. Theoretically, it should be the same. This distance from, unless this is not on the right scale. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is the right scale. It seems like the right scale. Let me double check. So this from here to here. This is a. Yeah, this is right. So this is 3 units. This is a 4 unit, and this is 5, right? And from here to here is 5 also. Right? But for the other one, maybe a little bit off. I don't know why it's a little bit off. I need to pick another question, so pick this point here. So this is 5 units, and this is 5 units. So this distance, the D1 and D2 are the same. You follow me? Okay. That's it. That's the directress. Anything else you need to know? You know hyperbola? You know directress?
Is there a directrix for the ellipse and parabola?
No. There's only focus and vertices. Now, Finn's job is to teach Rebecca about hyperbola and the parabola. Hyperbola and ellipse. Okay, so I'll give you a worksheet. So that way you get to see all the things that you can possibly have. And sometimes I can give you a parabola, ask you what will be the equation. write something on this, but that's okay. Hold on, see if I can give you the one that not written. So counting is one of the things that they don't teach anymore, whether in pre-calc or algebra 2. But it's on a math competition because it's somewhat important for all the situations. So this one's kind of student how to graph it. In pre-calc, I usually teach it, but I'll teach at end of the year. I will not teach it now because they have things that they have to worry about. But end of the year, usually I don't pay attention. So that's why Devin is haven't learned it yet. And this is also not on the Algebra 2 curriculum anymore. It's not on the pre-calc curriculum, which is kind of sad. They just keep on dumbing down stuff because the kids cannot handle it. So kids are. So here's a worksheet for you guys. I'm gonna airdrop to you. If you have turn on your airdrop, I can airdrop to you. Oh, you don't have phone. Somebody email it to him. You have email, right? Finn, can you email it to him? Your parents, what does your parents do? Mm-hmm. Is who's the tough one? Your dad's the one that don't let you have phone? Were you upset about that or no? Kind of. Where everybody have cell phone, you don't? What kind of doctor is he? Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay, what's your phone? What's your PIN number? They asked me for PIN number. I try to airdrop to you, but there's a PIN number on it. Oh, let me try this again. Let me try to airdrop again. Finn, do you see a PIN number? 707 366. Okay. And I'm gonna airdrop to you, Rebecca. Or Rebecca, what's your? Okay. You can try the one with parabola first, because those that you guys already learned. Ellipse and hyperbola, you can ask Finn to help you. He should be pretty good at teaching you guys. Are you full? I think I eat a lot more when the weather's full. Right? Let's get hungry so much quicker than before. You can put on a group chat too. So I'll see you. Make sure you be there 8:20. And I don't know if you can be there, Luke, if you want to go. Why your hair? You don't organize your hair. Man.
You woke me up and I don't have enough time. It doesn't matter. I don't think anybody likes me anyways.
Why do you say that? Okay, come here. No, that's not okay. Why do you say that?
Well, usually I'm the only one sitting alone in some classes.
That's because you refuse to talk to anybody. You can talk about anything, dude. Other people would be so open up to you if you just give other people a chance. Is not other people don't give you a chance, is you don't give other people a chance. People talk to you, you have to have eye contact. Like even David right now is sitting away. It's not because he hates you. It's because they find it hard to talk to you. They will talk to anybody. It's not because of anything else. But you don't smile. You don't talk to people. You don't ask what their interest is. How are they gonna interest in you? You're gonna be alone. And I know how that feel. And I try to tell you don't do that. But you just only live in your own world that only care about the games. You don't care about anybody else except the games. I care about you, but the way the best to just say, hey, what's up, Fistbump? Hey, start with simple things like that. You hear me or no? It's not because they don't like you. It's that you didn't even allow them to like you. Because you close yourself up, you only think about your own things. You don't think about how other people's doing. You consider about yourself all the time. You never consider, hey, let's say hi to somebody. Let's give a fist bump. Let's high five somebody. The simple things like that is going to be a drastic change. You have a new chance to redo a growth up high school, growth up middle school. That's the best way to do it. To just say hi, hey, what's up? How are you? How's your day? Like, I know you don't ask that. I don't, you don't care about that. But if you do that, other people will be like, open up to you too. All right, hopefully you hear me. I know a lot of time you don't hear me.
Somebody left their phone yesterday. Well, I'll take the pictures.
That's my phone.
Oh.
What? Yeah, of course.
Yo, do you have any vegan food? Marisa, do you want cake?
Yes.
Can I have food? Do you have vegan food? Did you want some? No, it has to be vegan. Yeah, it is for today. Oh, really? You can't eat cake. Did you want some?
Vegan food?
Oh, vegan. Where did the knife go?
That one's vegan.
No, but there's butter on it.
I don't know.
I dropped my other knife. More of it?
I heard you broke Nico's thumb today. Yes.
What happened?
I heard you broke Nico's thumb.
I broke Nico's thumb. Nico just passed it wrong. He just didn't play correct. Okay, if you're passing a game, you have a base account, you're gonna spray something. You need like one part of hands. Yes. And I like nailed like an 80-mile foot. That one's bad. Oh no. He's fine. He's a man.
What is it? Yes. I like cinnamon.
I'll play with it.
Why you don't eat school food? Why you don't eat school food? Why you always hungry? Me too.
Do you eat school food? No.
And then bring food from home. And make it the day before.
Butter, yeah,
I don't know. Okay.
What?
Wait. Why are you vegan though?
I'm fasting.
Are you a Catholic? You're Orthodox Christian. Do they have to? So their fasting is you have to like Lent, like give up something, or you choose to be vegan.
I really appreciate it.
You have to be like, you have to give up animal.
Who come up with that shit? I mean,
Who came up with you not being?
no, vegetarian. There was a reason why they are that vegetarian, because they want to feel compassion to animals.
He was only given when it was something about a flood and a drought, and he was only given bread and like bread and crop, they weren't given any meat or like animal.
Do you consider you're religious though?
I'm pretty religious, yeah.
Oh really?
You want some?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but I rather do
I went to ask for a 5-minute question, and I was stuck there for 4 minutes.
McKenna. Did you get your scholarship?
I don't hear back until like April. Because it's basically they've said that I have one, but they haven't made it official. So
You guys what?
I don't hear back. Okay, so basically it's a 4.0 scholarship. So they're saying right now you're on track to get it, but until they see my final like I won't officially find out like after I commit to whatever college I'm going to, and after I say I'm going here. They're like, okay, you received it. It's like tentative.
So unofficially.
Yeah, unofficially I have it.
How about Joshua? So what is that scholarship? For all 4 years? All 4 years? McKenna, it's all 4 years or only 1 year?
But no, it could have been 18,000.
What?
It could have been 18,000 you, but then you're just taking
You don't have about 50? You still can try right now, right? What's your SAT right now? But how about ACT? Can you do ACT?
ACT was a 31. And then my top combined was a 1440. I got a 750 math. And then a 690 reading.
But does the ACT qualify or no?
ACT might qualify, but it's also, I heard it's a lot easier now. The ACT. I heard it's
So
a
just
lot.
try ACT again.
I might, but that's just I have to study for that, and I still have a ton going on this year.
$9,000.
know.
It's like getting a job. It's better than getting a
I
job.
just don't know. I don't know if they'll allow you to. That's the thing. Because you already like seeing the application and everything like that, so I don't know if you can.
I won't let you submit anymore.
I didn't know
You
if you
can only submit before if you were deferred. For any school.
That's dumb.
We go. Yeah, a lot of schools.
They ask me because I can write myself. I just want to see it's like, and then I'm going into I'm really good at writing.
Okay,
Okay.
they all like racist.
Like, it's kind of like the format of how you write. I don't need to learn to like.
I'll give you something. Somebody who's born in you guys said.
Really? Who?
Not something you can derive.
Stupid. Last couple of
Love it. You don't guarantee that my dog is
I don't know.
dog.
It'll give me.
Some of them are. Some of the notes are.
No?
By the end of the week, I should be.
Wait, we just
Um,
have Shaw.
Oh my god. Little left heart.
There's no way.
Oh.
He's
Oh, that's I did not have any. And I don't what they they thought from it was like 2 what's it yeah.
Right. So two equal. Yeah, but that would be minus one. Oh, eight. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, what? Not 40 and then no. No way.
And it's
I know it.
what's the difference between she's trying.
It's something about the creed. What's it called? The creed. So it's like four. I like that.
I don't want to do
You know the whole creed. I like that. Basically, let's try to Catholicism and Orthodoxy is that. What is the thought process with that? They believe people believe that they were like and it was bad and it was
terrible now.
So there's a father of the tribe, the father of the Scots, and then the works are so it's like one and it's like a tribe. And then
Oh my gosh.
so it's like
That is a
I'm not Google it.
It's a language model. How does that know? It doesn't check if he doesn't know how to.
That's what it is. All I can do is you just know. And then he asked me about Baptist. I don't know about Baptist.
Oh, that's the one where I skipped it. And
He just used my notebook, copy all of his stuff.
How fast do you think I am?
We just sat here for a good 15 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
One squared minus 2 squared equals 36.
Yeah, it's check attendance.
4 squared minus
He's not gonna know where this is.
13.
You see how organized this shit is, though?
And 25 and 5.
Don't make me trouble. You see how organized? What did they get?
What are you doing?
Hey, so if you draw a line and a point here, doesn't it agree? Draw a line. Draw a line.
Auto shading.
I think that's 40,000.
Only this one. 3,628,800.
Oh. Sorry?
Okay, for 50, for 50 is 2, 24, 720, 40,320.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. That's like
Originally, I wrote it like that.
and there's a 3,628,8,000. One the comma is represent places and one represents separate numbers.
Oh.
No, that was not your fault. That was not your fault. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to today. I'm gonna pick on somebody. Who I want to pick on?
Maybe someone that didn't do their homework.
Who?
I'm not gonna say names.
Armin didn't do homework.
No, I did homework. He actually did it last year.
Look. I skipped Rick. Look.
No, I think you looked at this. There's who's gonna be there, who's gonna be good.
Who didn't do homework?
I don't know.
You went around checking.
I know I checked it.
You just did one work, but you did it. That's what I learned since you.
My parents called me.
Look, show me your homework. Do you have homework?
Not this kid, stupid question. What the fuck are you talking about? What?
I'll show you some of my own.
Bro, it isn't.
And what?
My God. Why is that like this?
No way you just skip
One.
And I did ask a question.
You're delinquent?
If
Yeah, he skipped 4 questions, bro.
Over n is gonna be negative 1/2.
Who?
And that's
He didn't know he skipped 8 questions, my bad. What? He saw my homework. Liar. He scrolled through the homework. You didn't see everything.
All right. So shh. All right, you are gonna suffer on the test day. So.
oh my god.
All right. So we're gonna talk about a couple things today. We're gonna finish talk about yesterday. There's one case that we did not finish, and that case is something like this: was the limits as n approach infinity. Sorry, hold on, an. Yesterday we talked about ln n over n, but we did not talk about this one. An equal to square root n plus 1 minus square root n. Now, if it goes to infinity, is it converge or diverge? Oh. Why do you know it's diverge? Okay, so anybody have different views?
It's root n. Wait, you're talking about this question? Oh, I thought you said if it goes to infinity.
What? What happened if you have limits as n approach infinity of square root n plus 1 square root n? And what happened with that?
0?
Minus. Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but if you divide by n, like there's no top and bottom degree, but then it becomes n over n plus 1 over n minus.
How do we prove mathematically? What?
You do,
You do 3.
Yeah, that's what it says, Mister.
2 minus
So infinity minus infinity, according to L'Hopital, is what? Indeterminate. So if it's an indeterminate, you got to L'Hopital rule, but this is not fraction. So how do we handle this? How do we turn this into fraction?
Over 1.
Yes. Good job, Safa. Very good. You multiply by the conjugate. Because that can happen as well, right? And then you should know that limit approach infinity, that's going to be n plus 1 minus n over square root n plus 1 plus square root n. So this limit n approach infinity is going to be 1 over square root n plus 1 plus square root n. Now if we reach infinity, it's going to be 1 over infinity, which is 0. So this is a converge. So yeah, so you can have some situation like this. Learn how to deal with it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some cases that we're going to spend whole period talk about, which is it's called squeeze theorem.
Again.
I didn't like it the first time. You don't have to do it again.
Yeah, the problem is, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do this because there's a lot of tests to understand this. So later you're gonna learn something called direct comparison test, limit comparison test, and you're gonna have to think about all those things. So you're gonna start to get used to it. I mean, just you don't have to like them. You just have to be able to do them. Okay, so what is squeeze theorem? Squeeze theorem says, well, there was 3 type of sequence, and one is within the other one. So let's say b to the n and the c to the n. So there was 3 sequence here. It was an an, bn is between an and cn. It's like a sandwich. Okay, but if you have limits for the an, so n approach infinity for the an, that's equal to, let's say it's equal to some type of constant, L. So this is a constant. I agree.
No numbers anymore.
We don't, number is overrated. Okay, so how about limit n approach infinity on this c to the n? It's also equal to L. And they are the same L. Same L, right? So that means b to the n has to be what? Yeah, limit n approach infinity of b to the n is also equal to L.
What is that thing from the outside?
Same.
Why did you write out context?
Brendan's not too bright. All right, so now, so what we're gonna use this idea. Aiden, pay attention. This is kind of hard to understand. I explained it last period, but this is actually very interesting. A to the n, n factorial over n to the n. Now this one is this diverge or converge, and why? And in order to prove it's kind of hard, but let's ask you, what do you guys think? Diverge or converge? And why you think that way? Now, instead of say, hey, let me Christmas tree, it's diverge, and then you don't explain why, then that's bad. If you said it's diverge or it's converge, and you told me why that is, it's a much better answer. N factorial over n to the n power. N is positive, by the way.
Thank you, that helps.
Wait,
Are we trying to just be intuitive, bro?
I think it's indeterminate.
You think it's determinate? Okay. Yeah.
It's a video.
Okay.
yeah, I think it's indeterminate as well.
Okay.
I think it's determined. Yeah, I think it's determined.
You think? Okay. So why? Why?
One is gonna move faster than the other. I think the bottom's gonna move faster than the top.
Why do you think bottom's faster?
Because it'll start slower than the other one, but if the exponential going to like 100 to 100 compared to 100 factorial is gonna be way different. 100 times 100 is gonna be way bigger than the other one.
How do you
Well, I don't know
establish
about 100, but I don't know how to put that in math
100?
I get what you're saying.
100 to 100 power is a very big number.
compared to 100 factorial, but I don't know.
Is 100 factorial 100 100?
100 times is less.
199.
It's 100 times everything before it.
Oh yeah. So
So if 100 times itself 100 times is more than 100 times 100 different numbers that are smaller.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it could be mine.
Or I don't know. One's gonna move faster.
Y equal to x factorial.
So Mr. Yeah,
X to the x.
Mr. Yeah, it's either gonna be infinity or 0.
And the bottom's fast.
I got pissed off on that.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. We haven't talked about graphing perspective. So let's just say y equal to x factorial.
Whoa.
Oh.
Value.
No, we only care about anything greater than 0. So we're gonna say 0 to maybe 100. Like this. Okay, y equal to x to the x. The black line is a little bit higher than the thing. Right. At first it looks like the same. At 1 is the same. Everything else is gonna be like this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out a legitimate proof using squeeze theorem. Okay, so we're gonna make up this series. We're gonna call this c to the n. Okay, we're gonna make up this, and we're gonna start by plugging some numbers and then kind of show you what happened. A to the 1 is 1 factorial over 1 to the 1, so that's equal to 1, right? Is equal to 1, right?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna compare to this one. This one we're gonna do 1 over 1 for now, and huh?
We don't know Sylvia.
We don't know. We're gonna name one. We're gonna show you comparison. So we're gonna compare this less than equal to, and so for this case, 1 over 1 is the same as 1 factorial over 1 to the 1 power. Now let's go to the second one. The second one is equal to 2 factorial over 2 to the 2. So that's equal to 2 times 1, 2 times 2.
Sorry.
And that's equal to, this is less than equal to 2 over 2 over 2. Because I just take away this term right here. We just take away that. Okay, so we want to compare. Let me get to the end because at first it's probably kind of confusing. So let me get to the end so we can answer all the questions at the same time.
Wait, why is it greater than equal?
Less than equal to.
Oh. Dude, I'm gonna kill you. Stop talking mean things about me.
Don't bully Brendan.
Top tier Darwin.
Brendan.
And you know what, bro?
Reporter.
What? Mandate reporter? Report what? Bowling?
Brandon said that he was gonna kill Rylan. Mr. A.
Send her to the safe office.
It's on live stream, by the way. There goes your hope to yell. Let me send it to yell. All right. Shh. Shh. So, guys, hey, I need to come back. So a to the 3, we're gonna write down 3 factorial over 3 to the 3, which is 3 times 2 times 1 over 3 times 3 times 3. And it's less than, on the bottom it's gonna be the same, 3 times 3 times 3. And this one is gonna be 3 times a little bit bigger than 2 and 1, so it's gonna, we're gonna say it's 3. We're gonna let me go through it. Okay. What you says 3 is less than 2 times 1. Because if I just compare this 3 and 3, they are the same, right? And the bottom 3 are the same. But 2 times 1 is less than 3. Okay, 2 times 1 is less than 3. So we are making a series, or we are making a sequence that we can understand, rather than n to the n and n factorial, because we don't know how to do L'Hopital rule of n factorial.
Oh yeah, but I know the other one is less than the other one.
So for this case, this here are the same as this, right? So we just have to compare the green one. The green one is less than 3. We just put 3 there.
Oh, so it just has to be something greater than that.
Well, we're gonna put 3 because we can name this. We can name this series a sequence pretty easily. We can name this pretty. You can name it right now. What would be the sequence here? N squared over n cubed is 1 over n, right? So it's really easy to evaluate that sequence. Would you say? Okay, so let's go. Let's go one more. A to the 4. If you have a to the 4, trust me, the first time as I was walking through this, I had also struggling to understand as well. So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And this is less than, well, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And this one's going to be 4, right? Now, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make this as maximum as 4. So 4 and 4. And you're like, okay, well, what is the thing? Now, I'm just going to look at this comparison right here. This is the same, right? 3 times 2 times 1 is less than 4 times 4, right? Yes. Yeah, but then I cannot write a sequence for that.
You just do 4 n cubed over n 4.
Yeah, so this is the same thing as what? This one I can. Shh, I need you guys to pay attention. Stop fooling around. So I can write this for a new sequence. We're gonna call c to the n is equal to n cubed over n fourth. Right? Or we can write it better too. We can write to the c to the m. N to the m minus 1 over n to the n. So n minus 1 over n to the n. No, we just show you the comparison. Right now, you don't need to worry about this. I'm figuring out for you. But later, you're going to have to do it with a different question. But this is not a key part. I'm figuring out this for you. I will show you where squeeze theorem comes in. Okay. Okay, so now do you understand? So we just named this sequence to in terms of n to the n power. and n to the n minus 1. But we can simplify that due to the exponent rule. If I simplify that, would that be n to the n times n to the negative 1 over n to the n? This just cross it out. It becomes 1 over n. So if that is true, n approach infinity of this is equal to 0. So we know this going to limits as n approach infinity. 1 over n is going to be equal to 0. However, so this is a tricky part for you guys to understand. So imagine I'm definition of Mr. Ye is a definition of pool. Like pool. I'm no. Okay, you can say cool.
Oh, cool.
Mr. Ye is equal to poor. Now stop bullying me. Poor.
Okay, 4. Wait, what's up here? Can you go left a little? Can you right a little? Is this the 4? N to the n?
I heard cool, and then it looks like he agreed with cool.
Okay, stop bullying me. Now I'm gonna jump out of the building because of you guys.
Whoa!
Okay, so this is Mr. Ye. It's pool, right? Poor.
There you go.
Poor. Joshua, you're white. I'm Chinese. You cannot make fun of me because I cannot.
I can't understand what you're saying. Mr. Ye is 4.
Okay, so this is something that we already established. This is poor.
Yes.
Okay, this is poor. Now, this is let's say this is Joshua, right? Joshua has less money than Mr. Ye. So that means Joshua is poor.
Wait, Mr. Ye, but I have less than I amount as you.
Yeah, but in terms of long term, right? In terms of we go to infinite, like you have, this is proving to be less, right? This is proving to be less. So if Mr. Ye is poor and he has less money than me, then he must be also poor.
Must be mega.
Poor.
Poor.
Okay. So I'm trying to say, guys, pay attention to me. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we already know this series converge, right? We know this series converge. And now if you have this series is less than the converge series, it must also equal converge.
If it's less than, should be less than whatever. What if it was greater than? Infinity is greater than.
Now, if you are more than me, it doesn't mean you are rich. You could be rich or you could be poor still, but
You just have more than you.
That's poor.
no, last period I used stupid.
Oh.
I mean, I feel that's kind of offensive.
Depends on your
Yeah, if you got offended by that.
Sepper.
I mean, yeah,
So I guess we can use Sepper because he's not here. We can bully him. So let's say this is Sepper, right?
You should be the stupider one.
No.
No, I'm not gonna bully him like that. And then this is Mr. Ye, right? So if Sepper is already stupid, I'm less IQ than Sepper, which is true by the way. Sepper is actually pretty smart. Which is I'm less than him. Which is I'm less than, I'm stupider, but I can call myself stupid, right? Because I'm less than stupid. Don't tell me this kid's gonna go Yale.
More stupid.
Yeah.
Stupider.
I think it is more stupid. It's like words.
Is that not a word, stupider?
It's okay. Dumber is a word.
No.
Huh? Thank you. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we just create a sequence that's for sure is bigger than this one. Now we prove that this one's converge, that the sequence less than that must also converge as well. Okay, so if I'm poor, if I'm poor, and Joshua has less money than me, he must also poor.
More water. Hey, let's just get over him.
Yes.
I didn't drink your water.
Oh, you cannot drop less than equal sign because at very beginning it's like it could be equal to.
We keep going.
And you
No
want
longer.
yeah, so but we already know that this is already converged. Even this can be possibly equal to that. It's still also converged as well.
Is it always going to be less than, or is it going to be greater than?
It's less than. Right now we only focus on less than.
So does that mean that every time it's going to go to 0?
If this gonna go to 0, if this one here goes 0, the one on the right is going to 0, this also have to go to 0 because squeeze theorem. So also another thing I want to tell you that this is always positive, right? So this is 0 less than a to the n less than c to the n. So we know that a to the n is always positive, and c to the n is limits as n approach infinity of 1 over n. That's equal to 0. But so this is between those. So therefore limits n approach infinity of a to the n must also equal to 0. Must also equal to converge. And we're gonna spend whole time talk about this, and you have no homework today, which is good, right? So I'm trying to say is, if you have less money than Mr. Ye, you categorize as poor. But if you have more than Mr. Ye, it doesn't mean that you're not poor. It doesn't mean you're rich either. Because if you have more than me, let's just say you have a little bit more than me, my income is 60,000, you have 61,000. That doesn't mean you're rich. That doesn't mean you're rich. You can still categorize as poor. But if I'm the guideline, if you're less than me, you for sure is poor. Or if you're less than Sepper on IQ, then you must be stupid.
So the whole point of creating a separate thing is trying to find something that does converge.
Yeah, so good thing that you mentioned that. The good thing you mentioned that. Because, guys, the good thing that you mentioned that. Because sometimes we had to make up that equation as slightly, we are knowing for sure that sequence is going to certain things. If we know that sequence is going to the 0, and we know this sequence is bigger than this sequence, so it must mean that this sequence also going to go to 0. But if this one's bigger than that one, then that's not sure. It's unsure if it's the other way. So that's one of the things called direct comparison test and limit comparison test later. It's going to come back to bite you if you don't understand it today. Okay, remind me, hey guys, remind me tomorrow I need to talk about absolute value theorem. I didn't get the chance to talk about it because we talked about this one. That one only takes 3 minutes. Poor. Right, what's the difference between poor and poor? They have the same word?
P-O-U-R. P-double-O-R.
I don't know, I hate English. There's a reason why I got 420 on SAT reading. Hey, I got an UF with 420.
Good thing you're not sending homework, because if you sent it, I don't know what the fuck I'd do with it. Like, come on.
We were gonna do the homework about this later.
Oh no, I'm aware, but I look at this stuff and I'm just like, huh? Like it doesn't come intuitively to me. You know what I mean? I think it's just like a matter of like repetition. You know what I mean? The more I do, I think the more.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of them you have to understand in class. Like you have to really focus. Instead, like you guys joking around too much, because if you're joking too much, you say, "Oh, I don't get it," then you're not understanding.
No,
but it's really important that you focus the first time, try to understand it, and try to ask as many questions. You guys just make fun of me, so I'm kind of pissed. But anyway,
make fun of you?
Yeah,
Me?
yeah, you guys.
No, everyone.
Poor.
It's okay, Mr. Yang. Look, I couldn't say shit like that for like at least the first 3 years I was here. So I think
I'm here for 30 years though.
Yeah, that's why I let the money change. Page 38, math the long way. We do our homework?
I don't think we got the last question.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I know how to
Wait,
do last one.
is the difference between seeking just using time, cosine, and graph?
Basically, what I did is I grabbed the like if it's saying I'll grab the cosine one and then I put the I'm saying, but it's gonna
Also, I think that then get real. Street is wide, bro. Lucky I got all my.
You did the hard one, bro.
I don't know how to do it. I did,
Bro, it's just
I didn't know.
beautiful. So then like this, is you just go here. You make over here.
No.
Bro, we can all do them, boy. I tried the.
I got it, yeah.
How many people in my class I graduated?
I'm rocking their school colors. I checked last year. For the sixth
Did I finally have someone to make physics?
Did you not do number 6? Well, yeah, well, like, you even write yeah, I know this is not like actually like, how do you do I mean, yours is right. I feel like crazy.
For cocaine.
I forgot the ghost ticket part.
I did this one really well. I actually got it. I forgot to make this one got it.
I didn't try to do something grab small. I grabbed this one.
This is very great. Not great. Professional. Right.
No, it's just like, I wouldn't.
You understand? I did not want to buy
Where's Arthur? Didn't see Arthur today? Do you guys see Elizabeth today? Anybody?
Yeah, I saw her. I don't know.
Huh? I'm gonna call her out in the live stream. Don't worry.